morning, everyone. It's Providence Farmstead here again. This is Alicia. I want to show you some things that are going on in the garden. I've got some ugly things to show you. I'm not super proud of it, but I do want you to recognize that no one's garden is perfect, and if it is, they're putting some nasty chemicals on it because that's the only way you're going to get a perfect garden. So I feel like showing that to you and being transparent about it will maybe help you with your gardening ventures. So let's go look. Still have not gotten to this little corner. The grass is getting bigger. I did notice while I was out here yesterday that I had some things to dig up. Let me see if I can find them again. Some things that reseeded themselves. And I said, ooh, well, oh wait, that could be a cucumber. That was not one of the things, but hey, I might dig that up too. Oh, here we go. Dill. Get some dill coming up right here. I'm gonna dig that up. And there are some zinnias in here. My batteries died, so I had to go get some new batteries. So let's pick up at peppers. My pepper transplants, some of them look fairly good. Some of them really I'm a little worried about. I did pull some dead leaves off, and some of that could be due to transplant shock still. I'm not sure. I'm a little worried. I'm really worried about my lone corbaci because there's not much of it left. But I need to trim off some more leaves, I think, to give new leaves a chance to grow. I think that would be very beneficial. Hopefully they'll do well and they will come out of the shock pretty quick. This one, Tabasco pepper, doesn't look so great down here either. Celery is growing well. The lettuce is doing just fine. The purple lady bok choy, well, this biggest one here is starting to get green in the middle. I'm thinking that might be a sign that it's going to try to bolt soon. Since it's my first year growing, I'm not positive. Love the purple and green contrast. Isn't that pretty? I still need to finish weeding potatoes, but the potatoes are coming on nicely. They have a dirt look to them because that is the diatomaceous earth that's wet. The flea beetles have been horrendous this year. I did get some neem oil finally in, and I may spray everything this evening. Swiss Chard has got a few holes, but overall not too bad. We will probably have some of that for lunch today. I'm not sure, but I think this is a volunteer tomatillo. I'm not sure what it looks like. So I've kind of let it go. I don't know if it'll do anything or not because you need 2 tomatillos to reproduce, and it's pretty far from my other ones. And then these are my sweet peach or peach sugar rush peppers, and some of them look really good. That one on the end worries me a little. It's got some discoloration. I think it's sunburn, so we'll see. It's been really hot and humid, so I haven't gotten out here to finish working on this potato bed because it was miserable. I face painted on Saturday and it was absolutely miserable in it, so hopefully in the next day or two I'll be able to get out here and work on that. The carrots and beets look fabulous, and the brassicas aren't looking too bad. Got some holy collards, but that's okay. Surprisingly, they don't seem to like this kale. Oh, never mind. I guess they do like the kale because that one's been eaten on right there. So maybe they do like the kale. Still need to look into saving the seeds from this tatsoi. I should have a ton so I can get it pulled out of here because there is a marigold trying to take over. Not a marigold. Because there's a morning glory trying to take over this tatsoi. So there's a borage back there that's doing pretty well. My onions are falling over. So my cabbage is getting cut today because it is finally starting to get some damage. So I'm going to cut it off. I was hoping to let it go about another week and let it get bigger. And I have kept diatomaceous earth on it. The worms have found their way in anyway, so I will be harvesting that cabbage. And probably that one too, even though there's not much left on the inside of it. A couple of Swiss Chard plants down here that look pretty good. These red cabbages are so pretty. They look like roses. Still waiting for my 1,000-head kale to get bigger, but other than having a few bites taken off of some of it, it doesn't look too bad. I think those radishes all need to be pulled out along that fence. We did get just a few of these peas. Got just a few of these purple peas. The blossoms are my favorite part. So pretty. On to tomatoes. Tomatoes are having a hard time, guys. So I still need to plant this panel, and I can fit just a couple more plants on this panel, and then I need to mulch it. So let's take a look at some of the tomatoes. I have some tomatoes. This one I just planted a couple days ago, and it's doing really well. And this one actually was missing its label, but it looks like it could be an indigo apple. There is my one ground cherry that survived. One. I hope it continues to survive. This plant here is a Paul Robeson. I got that at a local nursery because my Paul Robeson tomatoes didn't do real well. I think I have one other one somewhere. And this is an atomic grape. This is an atomic grape that I actually picked up at Baker Creek Spring Planting Festival because I didn't grow any of those this year. Anyway, here's where my concern comes in. You can see some of the leaves are eaten off here, and this one's not even as bad as some of the other ones. I have hornworms, guys. And I actually looked on these plants a couple of days ago and couldn't find them, so I dusted everything, all the tomatoes in diatomaceous earth because the bees still aren't hanging out here yet. And I thought, well, that'll be safe. But you can see there's some hornworm droppings. So it's a pretty good size one, but I can't find it. Look how small this tomato plant is. I have looked all over. It's best to hand pick these guys if you can, but I have looked, and I have looked, and I have looked, and I can't find it. I can't find the hornworms. I have looked about 5 plants, and I can't find them. So tonight I'll be coming out here with my Blacklight and trying to find them. And then I also have some neem oil. I'm going to make up some neem oil to try to spray them. This is called Bear Creek. I also picked this up at the Spring Planting Festival from Bear Creek Farm. I guess they patented this particular tomato variety several years ago, so I thought I would give it a try. Let's see. Let's find some pretty ones. Oh, look, I got a zinnia getting ready to bloom right here. These 2 tomatoes here, very pretty, aren't they? My friend Stephanie grew these, which they need a little extra pruning right now, but I've got some flowers on them. The thing is, I lost the tags. One is called Dark Galaxy, I think, and the other is blue-green something. So we'll see whenever the tomatoes come on. My eggplants got eaten badly by flea beetles. They do every year. I'm hoping I might get 1 or 2 eggplants. I have the hardest time with flea beetles on them, so we'll see. They sure don't look real good. Here's another plant with some hornworm damage, and there's some more hornworm droppings. So I mean, it's pretty bad. I don't know where they are. I've looked and looked for them. Here is a tomatillo plant that I was picking the flowers off of, and then I decided to stop because it got crazy. It's covered. Another tomato and then another tomatillo. And some more of my tomatoes. Some doing better than others, obviously, but this is a pretty good row. This is my Napa Chardonnay, one of them. And and it's kind of going everywhere. This one worries me a little bit. This is a big sun gold tomato and it has some pretty significant damage here. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot of plant. Why can't I find the hornworm? It's very annoying. I'd love to think some little birdie came along and just picked them all off, but I don't think that's the case. So I'm just gonna wait and see. That might be a ground cherry actually. I just planted that a couple days ago. I forgot I had another one. Maybe I have 2 ground cherries. These all need mulched still, but I can fit a couple more tomatoes over here, so I haven't mulched it yet. And I have 1 more row of tomatoes. The back side of the peas. This tomato kind of got lost in the carrots for a while, so it's pulled out now and doing better. I've been pruning tomatoes, so if you see branches on the ground, it's because I haven't gone through and picked them all up yet. I am letting my tomatoes go to blossom. If they're at least, you know, pretty good size, I'm letting them start to put flowers on. This one, I have no idea what's wrong with it. I may pull it out of the ground. It has been shriveled up and droopy looking for about 2 weeks now, and I can't figure out why. That's my pineapple tomato. Those are my favorite kind. And then over here I've got flowers coming up. Gabriel planted some radishes here, and they are coming up. But it is time to cut scapes, guys. Look at this. Time to cut scapes. Which means harvesting the garlic is only a couple weeks behind. Dill has grown significantly in the past couple of days. And that's the garden. That's the garden right now, guys. I know it's not all perfect. It's not all sunshine and roses, but it is what it is, and we are going to take it happily. Our chickie babies spent their first night in the big girl pen last night. Hi, guys. Everybody's gonna hide. We think we might have 1 rooster, unfortunately. So tonight, we'll get back out here with a black light and the neem oil and see if we can't get rid of these hornworms before they kill everything. What you have? Cabbage. Swiss chard, lunch, and you can't, are you eating it? You guys, how'd you get so many? We had to go ahead and harvest the big cabbage, guys. It was starting to get some pretty bad damage. Really? So we harvested a big bunch of Swiss chard and some cabbages. And this is how I chop mine up. I chop the stalks and all. I mean, that's totally your preference, but we like the extra color. And then I'm going to saute this up in some butter and garlic. These were the wider leaves, so I actually cut strips down them, and then I'm going to dice them, chop them up this way. Greens cook down a lot, so that's the first bunch, and then I'm getting ready to stick the second bunch in with these. Just have a couple tablespoons of butter on here. Isabel and I want our eggs whole, but the boys want theirs scrambled. Alright, just gonna let these whites cook up a little bit. I learned this trick from Jess on Roots and Refuge the other day, and I've been loving it for cooking my eggs. So I'm gonna show that to you. So the whites are mostly done on the bottom, and I'm just gonna pour some water in, and basically it steams them. So do that, and I cover them up, and we let them steam. To make scrambled eggs, I just put them in a cup like this, give them a stir. Every now and then I add cream to them, but I'm not going to today. And there we go. Perfect eggs. I let them go a little bit too long. They're a little bit over hard, but you can let them go less and have them a little softer. It's pretty dark out here, guys. I'm out here with a blacklight flashlight. I'm going to see if I can find some hornworms It may still be a little light yet, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how well this will come out on video. And it was eating tomatoes. Ow, ow, ow. The bugs are driving us crazy. We've been through almost 2 rows, which is 48 plants, and I still have 1 full row to go. I want to show you one other thing that I found. Cute.
Whoa.
Now, hold still. Now, see there's eggs on that? I happened to catch those in the light. I'm not positive, but I'm almost, I'd say 90% sure those are squash eggs, squash borer eggs. And it's not the first tomato leaf I found with them on it today. They look just like the squash borer eggs that I pull off the zucchini. And I thought that was very interesting. All right, now, there's a worm. See it? I'm not positive it's a hornworm, but it's a worm. Nonetheless, I don't actually see a horn on it, but I can't tell for sure. There's a worm. It's not actually a hornworm, but there's a worm. It's kind of gray colored actually.
Can you hold still?
See, he doesn't glow. That's why I wasn't sure they were actually hornworms, and I've picked a couple of them off. I'm not exactly sure what kind of worms these are.
There we go. And under regular flashlight.
Oh, he's gray. He's not green. I knew he didn't have a horn, and so I wondered about it.
What are those crazy people doing in their garden with a black light at night?
So I didn't actually, I was going to spray with neem oil tonight, and I decided to wait because I didn't want to be doing this with oil all over the leaves. I don't see anything, Matt. This one does have damage, but I can't find anything on it. So I will be doing neem oil tomorrow evening. You don't want to put neem oil on during the day because it's oil, and it'll cook. It'll cook the plants.
You'll burn your leaves and kill the bees.
Yep.
So you put it on in the evening.
So the bees aren't affected, and so you don't cook your plants. This one's got damage too, but I'm not finding anything.